What is going on, guys? It is your boy here, Christian Riego.
Work by day. Hello. 500 gram podcast by night. All day.
Shit! What's cracking? What is this? Yo, what's going on, guys? It is your boy here, Christian Riego, coming at you with the 22nd episode. And today we are joined by
FIFA Pimp, Diego. Every episode, you already know. We also got
Kai Rubio
and Audrey.
So, yeah, Audrey Harper is our guest today. You know, we got a girl in the motherfucking episodes. I know that for all the girls that are watching this podcast, I know that they like to hear other girls talk. So.
Yes, definitely.
It's been a request. I don't know if we've gotten commented on our videos or whatnot, but we've gotten commented in person that we need to introduce a female to.
Yeah, we need more
to the
females.
podcast.
trying to hear a female's perspective on life and stuff going around.
You gotta have that sometimes.
Because, yeah, I mean, I do get it. All these past episodes, you're just getting a male's perspective. You know, if you are a woman, I mean, how can you
relate?
Relate, I guess, to some of the shit we say.
Dude, it's like, I know most males, I mean, you don't necessarily have to dick ride them, but most males like Andrew Tate. And girls hate him.
I really don't have a problem with them, but I get that. I get why girls hate him, but
yeah.
What's your point of view on Tate if you don't hate him?
Honestly, sometimes he is kind of like annoying, but overall, like, I kind of get his views sometimes. I really do. Like, he's got a certain standpoint on life, and you got to just learn to accept other people's opinions, and he doesn't make bad points all the time. I mean, I get what he's saying half the time when I listen to his stuff, so I understand it.
All right,
because, like, a lot of the things he says, it's logical, bro. We think logically. And that's the way, I guess, a lot of people relate to him, but it's just some people that, by the way he acts, they just don't want to listen to his, his views, I guess, on life, on things.
So before we get too deep into today's episode, I want to ask how everyone's day today is. So let's start with you.
I'll go ahead. All right. First day back at work after 6 weeks. Vacation time is sadly over, my friends. We will no longer be going to Mexico anytime soon right now. We got to get them dollars back up at the moment. But other than that, I mean, still part-time worker at Jayco. Not very much shit to do. At work, I mean, it's chill or whatever. It's not hauling ass like before, so it's whatever. It's not.
It's a bit slower, huh? I feel
it's a slower environment.
It's not as fast paced. They're trying to weed out some people.
What about you, Aud?
I had work, woke up at like 6. It was a pretty good day, but it was long. I had like probably 13 or 14 patients I saw throughout the day. Didn't get that much of a lunch. We kind of cut into it by like 30 minutes, so it's pretty much the same thing I do every day, just rotating. And it was honestly a harder day today, but nothing that I'm not used to. And then got gas and came here.
Hell yeah. So for me, you know, I just woke up today. Woke up a little late today, but decided to get some edits in, and I'm going to pop some shit up on the screen right now of the things that I'm currently working on. I know for this episode, we're going to have a new intro, so if you didn't already see that, let me know what you think of that down below. But yeah, I had to edit, made some of that stuff, and yeah, now I'm just chilling, set up for the pod, now chilling with everyone.
Hell yeah.
How about you?
Is edit, dude. I feel like every time I ask you what you're doing, I'm editing.
Yeah. Oh, another thing. Editing a video. Okay, so right now I'm going to pop up a design on the screen of a hoodie. You're going to just catch us wearing this throughout everywhere, basically. So here in, like, the next couple months, I plan on, like, releasing some merch. Some of them are going to be samples right now, but, you know, I hope to be going into that, I don't know, that path. I think it's kind of interesting, bro.
Hey,
like making clothes and shit.
Let's do some first person to spot out one of us wearing that hoodie in the video. Comment the time, and first person to comment gets a free hoodie.
For real, yeah.
Ooh.
First person who spots the new clothes. Every time you see something new and you call it out, you'll get it for free.
on video or real life. If you see us up in the mire or something, I personally don't go to Walmart, but in the mire you can see me up in there. Yeah, that way.
All right. How was your day, bro?
My day, I mean, it was pretty chill. It was a regular work day. Got up at, actually, I woke up late. Now that I remember, I woke up an hour late for work, and I got there an hour late. No biggie. Got my stuff done. Got out like around 10:30, and I picked up my daughter. I spent my day with my daughter. We had a little tea party and whatnot. She ate and everything, and I had to take her home before the pod. It's pretty sad that I had to take her home a bit early, but sometimes you gotta work. Yep. But now we're here.
But so, you know, this is your first time being on our podcast. So, do you want to give a little introduction of kind of who you are?
Sure. All right, so you guys already know my name's Audrey. I am a full-time dental assistant, certified radiographer. I'm also a part-time gymnastics and dance instructor, and I do that just for fun and because I like to dance and do gymnastics. I am engaged, and I'm a homeowner, and I'm trying to think what else. I'm an aunt, a tia, I should say, and then that's about sums up my life. I'm 20, and yeah, I like to work on teeth, and I like to dance. So,
like, what do you do again? So, you know, you gave us a little insight. Like, what do you do on, like, a daily basis, like, for your job and shit?
So, my job, actually, there's, like, a lot of different things that I do within my job. Like, I could list off probably 50-plus things of, like, different things I do throughout my day. Not everything is the same when you're a dental assistant because it really depends on, like, the procedures you do. And so, like, we do, like, fillings, extractions, implants, things like that. And so I'm basically the doctor's right-hand man. So I pass them the tools. I do that. I do the suctions. I do all of that. And I do the general maintenance around the building, too, like keeping it clean. And I make retainers. I make temporary crowns. All those things is usually what I do on a daily basis. We do a lot of fillings and things like that. And I take x-rays and stuff. It's basically my job description.
So did you, like, I know, like, for most people listening to this right now, the thing that's going through their head right now is, like, for you to do that, like, do you have to go to college for that?
So actually, you do not have to go to college to be a dental assistant. It's kind of like a trade school. Okay. So you can go to medical assisting school, and it's kind of like if you were in cosmetology, you're in it for, like, 9 to 12 months total. Yeah. And you can also, like, people take, like, semesters at colleges, like, just for doing science and stuff. But overall, if you can, like, learn to take x-rays on people's teeth and stuff, you can get hired as a dental assistant because if you can take the x-rays and stuff and see what's on there and, like, assist the doctor, just learn to the doctor's hand, then, like, over time, you can just be a dental assistant. I feel like it comes with training no matter where you start. You have to train. And you don't have to go to college for that.
Was that, like, something you were, like, always trying to do? Or, like, through high school, you just decided, all right, let's do this?
So I always kind of had in the back of my mind, I was always comfortable at the dentist office. My grandma was a dental assistant. So I was never, like, afraid to be there. Yeah. And when I was in middle school, I was kind of like, I think I want to be a hygienist. I want to clean people's teeth. And then in high school, when I got there, I decided to do the internship at where I actually work now. Okay. And when I was there and I was watching the hygienist, I was like, I don't want to do the same thing repetitively. They do the same thing. They clean your teeth, next patient. They clean your teeth, next patient. Yeah. Well, when you're on the doctor's side, like, my favorite thing to do is, like, when she pulls out teeth. Like, I truly, like, that, it sounds disgusting, but, like, that really interested me. It really did. Like, her procedure side and the way that she works with the patients interested me more than just cleaning teeth all day. So I originally went to college for a semester before I dropped out because I wanted to be a hygienist. And then I said, screw this. I'm not doing it. And the hardest part with me, like, wanting to drop out of college was I was afraid I was going to be, like, disappointment. That was, like, my biggest thing holding me back. But I was like, I can't be unhappy like this for however many years. It would have been probably about 4 years for me to become a dental hygienist. So I was honest with them at the dentist office I worked at, and they're like, let's train you to be an assistant then. So
That's
I did
good.
get pretty lucky there.
It sounds like you're doing good. I mean, you're engaged. You're a homeowner. So I'm sure that worked out for you. That sounds good.
Yeah. I got to give some cred to my fiance, though. I mean, he did a lot of the work, too. So, but, things really came full circle for me, and I didn't expect it to, especially, like, when we graduated in the class of 2020. I was like, what are we doing now? We weren't taught any of these things, like, of how to apply to college and how to do FAFSAs and things like that. So even in school, I realized we weren't taught to.
So did you just feel like, because I know, like, I can kind of relate to that story. I went to, college and decided, like, I dropped out too. But, like, was it just because you were purely unhappy, or what actually made you realize, like?
I was definitely unhappy. I'd wake up in the morning and be like, why am I doing this? Why am I going? I was paying for college myself, and I'm like, once again, why am I doing this? Why am I paying thousands of dollars to hate my life?
And you weren't able to get, like, FAFSA?
I was able to get a little bit of FAFSA, but both of my parents, they made decent money, so it really, and I went with my dad because I, like, filed under my dad after my parents were divorced, so I got a little bit of money because of that, but it wasn't like the full cover. It did not cover enough for me to. I had 3 jobs at one point, like, while in college, like, trying to make everything work. So I was a server at Wings, also working at the dentist office, and also teaching at the gymnastics center. So it was not working out.
How long did you were you, like, working through all of them until you decided to drop one? Because that's how it was for me, like, driving from KZU all the way to
I think I was
a job and then doing this.
I was doing that for quite a while, honestly, probably for about 5-6 months until I was like, I'm quitting Wings when it, like, rose up again. And then they started cutting people off, and I was like, okay, I'll just quit serving at Wings. And then I was straight up to the dentist office people that, like, I don't think I want to finish out doing hygiene in school. I can't juggle all of this together. And at that time, we didn't have a house. We were living at Stoughton Estates.
Forgot what I was going to say, but, like,
Do you plan on staying in town after you get married, or you plan on moving out?
That's a really good question, because when we were buying a house, we were buying in, like, plans to just be settled there for, like, having our family and stuff. And it'll probably be like that for the first few years. But we have discussed moving to Tennessee and things like that just in our farther life, like, not right now. But we feel like Sturgis, like, we've saw what we needed to see. I don't have a problem living in Sturgis, but I always, like, think in the back of my mind there's other places out there. Yeah. And it wouldn't hurt to try.
Yeah, that's a good mindset. So I don't think Sturgis is bad, but obviously there's a lot more to see.
How did you guys come around, like, finding that house? Like, how did you find that deal or whatnot?
Oh, man. So, actually, we looked for the house before the house rates went up. Don't get a house right now, guys, because, holy cow, you'd be paying a lot of money for that. But we looked around November, I think it was 2021. It was before the presidential election. We kind of went about it. Like, my fiance went to the bank, and he was like, he talked to the loan lady. What can I do for my loan? Gave the pay stubs. And then he had to prove, like, how much he was getting paid. And then they pulled his credit in, and they said, okay, this is the amount of a house loan we can give you. So they gave us the amount. And so then we were like, okay, we can look at houses like 3 bedrooms to 2 bedrooms, like, around there. And we had a set thing, like, when you go to look for a house, make sure you know what you want in the house. Like, we didn't want to buy appliances. We didn't want to buy a house that we had to spend a lot of money on
to fix it.
Yes, we didn't want to fix her up, or we wanted it to be, like, moved in, because Mark, he's beat up by the factories. You guys know that. Like, he doesn't want to come home and work on the house. Work even more and kill his body. So it kind of came about. So he had done that, and then we got connected to a realtor from his sister, and then the realtor, she was amazing. We told her we're looking for this and this, and one night we were just sitting on our couch in the apartment, and she texts us and says, I found your house. Meet me there in 30 minutes. We go there. It's a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage, extra lot. I was like, no way. This is crazy. Like, there's no way, like, this is all set in stone to be. Like, it was in a great neighborhood. And then once we got there and we looked around, and like Mark's looking at me like, yeah.
That's the house.
Yep. And then the realtor's like, it's a little out of your price range, but let's talk to the lady. And then sure enough, she's like, actually, you can qualify for more. Like, and so we were able to get the house loan, buy the house. We moved in within a month or two. They were just trying, the people before us, that was kind of luck too. They had already bought a house and they were just trying to get out of this house. They said, you guys can keep all the appliances, everything, and all the appliances were new. So I was like, there we go.
So the other thing, like, I'm interested about is, like, so, how did you and Mark decide that it was, like, time to move in? Because I know you guys lived before, like, together, you know, in the apartments and stuff, but how did you figure that it was, because were you engaged already at that time?
I think we were. He proposed to me when we were at the apartments.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So it was pretty easy then.
Yeah, it was like, we had planned initially to stay at the apartments for 3 years after he had proposed to me to save our money for a house. Then one day he was like, why don't we just like see if we can get a house loan? Why put all of our money into this apartment and not see anything in the back? That was like basically, he's like, we need to invest in something that we can get money out of later. And I'm like, I mean, that's true. And him and I, we moved in together. I think it was basically right when COVID happened.
Yeah.
I had already planned. I had told my parents, like, once I graduated that I was going to move in with Mark. But then when school got closed, I was like, okay, I'm out. And then I've been with him since, so.
Damn.
I'm glad it's turning out. Trying to spice things up a bit, Chris, with this different question.
Do you guys have, like, plans on, like, getting kids anytime soon?
Oh, yeah. We talk about it all the time. We would love to have a big family someday. Like, if I won the lottery.
Yeah, so how many kids do you want, and how many kids does Mark want?
Mark would want a whole entire crew if we could afford it. And
Yeah,
I
too.
agree with
Like,
that.
I would want, like, a big family.
The
Like,
whole soccer team, right?
Yes, exactly.
This dude says he wants at least 8.
Yeah. I mean, we would if we could afford it, for real.
Yeah.
Either way, you know, the woman that I be with for the lifetime, she's going to be popping out kids like crazy, man. We got to leave a legacy around here, man.
Right?
Something.
You got to
like,
pull out a whole squad, seriously.
hopefully one of them, you know, will be a NFL star or something. But
yep, one of them's got to be something.
Something. FBI most wanted something, you know.
I read an article the other day of this dude that had like 43 kids and like 100+ grandkids, dude. That was crazy. That shit was funny though.
Yeah, nah, like that's too much, you
That's
know.
too much.
It's a hella Christmas
He
gift for
left the
everybody.
whole village.
So now that, like, I know you guys are, like, you guys already have a house and shit, but, like, a thing that I hear about, like, on the internet and shit is, like, when people get married and shit, you know, as a guy, you know, some guys want prenups. How do you feel about, like, prenups and shit?
I mean, I agree with that. You don't work all your life for some chick to take your money away. I mean, yeah. I would sign a prenup. I don't see like why there's a big issue around that if you're not trying to take someone's money. I mean, I would sign a prenup. I wouldn't be offended if he asked me to sign a prenup. We could get a joint account together, but have our separate accounts.
Okay.
That's the way I would look at it. Like, we would have separate accounts, but we could also have a joint account where we'd put money into.
Damn, you actually answered that pretty well for a woman, dude. I give you props for that. Cause
For real.
I didn't expect that to come out of your mouth.
Because, you know, a lot of women out there, dude,
You got any friends?
they're like,
They got your mindset?
dude, it's like a lot of women out there, they're like, you even bring up a prenup, you don't love me.
You
You don't love
you
me.
don't love them.
You don't love me.
Bro, like,
You br-
I don't know if they
Yeah,
even
I don't
understand a
understand.
prenup.
It's-
Like, yeah, a prenup has to be something you both agree on. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, you're not gonna sign it if you don't agree on it. Like,
Yeah.
bro, a prenup doesn't say you're gonna take the chick's shit afterwards.
Exactly.
It says you guys
Exactly.
take your own. like,
Exactly.
isn't that what you want?
Yeah.
So, like, what's your, like, motivation to do all this? The big shit, you know, like.
Oh, man. I don't want to get deep, but, like, I think I was at a really bad standpoint in my life in high school, and I was in a very helpless mindset to where, like, oh, my parents are divorced, so that's why I do this and this. Oh, it was an excuse. I had excuses for everything, like, for the wrong things that I did. And finally, I was just like, I don't want to live like in that state of mind where I just don't want to like better myself. And so it kind of, it's not like it was a flip of the switch like one day. It's just like over time, I was like, if I live in like my regrets the rest of my life, I'm going to be a miserable person. So it's either I get my shit together and get myself better, or I just dwell and I'm unhappy or jealous or filled with envy, like things like that. I can't be like that my whole life, or else I'm going to live a miserable life, and I'm not trying to do that. So I just decided to step up and get my crap together, and I have been the happiest that I've felt in a long time. And more so, the bigger picture, I feel like Audrey again. Like, I feel like me.
That's good. So, like, since you went through, like, such a hard time and stuff, do you have, like, any advice to, like, the high school kids that might be watching this? Or, you know, doesn't even have to be high school kids. It can even be anyone that's in, like, a bad point in their lives, you know? Do you have any advice for those people?
You're young and you're going to make mistakes. But if you keep those mistakes and live like that the rest of your life, you will be unhappy. So just know, like, the decisions you make now in that standpoint in your life, it's okay to, like, live and learn. And it's okay to, like, feel regret in that moment. But don't live in regret the rest of your life. Don't. Because there's always a better side. There's always a better way to better yourself. There's always that out there. So
that's pretty fun.
Good advice. Listen up.
Some good advice to all the people watching out there. You feel stuck, just listen to Audrey.
For real, Diego, for real.
Wow. What are, like, some of the, we're getting a little deep as fuck, so, like, what are some of the things that, like, doesn't, you know, what do you find joy in that doesn't involve money or, you know, working as so hard, you know? Like, what are you passionate about?
I'm very passionate about, actually, just like how I was giving advice, I'm very passionate about helping, like, the young minds, like, be kids and enjoy themselves, because, like, I think that's something so important, is to have a good childhood. And, like, I love kids so much. I'm, like, passionate about that. And I don't have children of my own, but, like, my students, I'd love each of them as if they were my children. Like, and I find passion in that. I find passion in dancing, like, always. You put music on, like, you can't really be upset if you can dance to it, you know? Like, to me, like, I feel like dancing is a great passion to have, because you can let loose and, like, nothing else matters but, like, your body movement and the song. So
how long have you been dancing?
So I was in a studio for 11 years total. And I started when I was 3 in ballet. And then once I got, like, 3 or 4 years old, or 4 or 5, I started taking ballet and tap. And then when I think I was 6 or 7 was when I took my first hip-hop class. Game changer. I was like, screw ballet. I like hip-hop. And I did competition dancing then from, like, 9 years old till I was 16 or 17 in high school, and then I stopped then. And it was kind of depressing, because, like, after you're done, it's like, now what do I do? Like, what can I contribute? Like, I didn't know. I wanted to go to the studio. I wanted to dance, but, like, I outgrew it. So it was kind of fun, like, in high school with, like, lip sync and stuff. Yeah. Because, like, there was never a dance team or anything, but that was where I could showcase my shit, you know? Like, that was where I could teach people and show what I like to do.
That's funny.
There really wasn't like a dance team and shit, right?
No, there wasn't. And I had actually tried to make one, but I needed a teacher chaperone, and no teacher wanted to. So,
like a Step Up movie type of shit,
right?
There was no.
Don't get me started on Step Up.
Those movies are pretty fire, bro. And I'm not gonna lie,
are.
they're pretty lit. They're pretty lit.
Oh yeah, they are. Moose was my fave.
Moose. Mm-hmm. I remember Moose. Yeah, he was on with, like, curly ass hair.
Yes.
Yeah, boy.
Have you ever, like, had the chance to make money off of dancing?
I mean, kind of in a way I do now, because I do teach hip-hop classes. And, I mean, it's not much money, but I just enjoy, like, teaching the kids how to dance, and me still being able to dance every week.
So do you think, like, if you were able to pull a little more money for that, like, be able to support yourself, that would be something you would do?
Probably. But I had always had in the back of my mind, I'm not going to own a studio and I'm not going to be like that. So I always like said I'd have my established job and I'd do a part-time job of dancing to just continue dancing. What are some questions for you guys? Enough about me. Seriously.
Nah, I mean, what you gotta ask?
I was gonna ask Cairo, like, do you have any? Because she's still at the point where she's like getting engaged and shit, you know, and you already have a kid. Do you have any advice
that's a good
for like someone that doesn't have a kid yet and planning to have one, basically?
Well, I mean, if they're planning to have one and it's a plan, I mean, I'm sure it'll go good. And as long as you guys prepare for it and you guys are mentally prepared for it, for the most part, you guys will be good. I mean, having a kid it's life-changing. It's definitely going to eat up a lot of your time, so make sure you guys have time set aside for your kid because you don't want to, you know, they only grow once, so you don't want to miss out on that. So just dedicate a lot of time to your kid and make sure you're going to give them the good home. Yeah. You know, give them the home you wish you had. That's about it. I mean, you have a pretty fucking good mindset, so there's not much shit I can do.
Do any of you guys plan to get married soon?
Me, nah. Yeah, nah.
Married, I don't know, man.
Probably
never in the life married.
35.
Legally.
How you gonna have a whole soccer team of kids if you ain't married?
We can still have kids and
That's
not be
true.
married.
I mean, you got a point there.
No.
You can
It's
and you
just
will, right, Diego?
We can and we will. It's just the married part. I don't know about that, man. It's
a big commitment.
It's like I gotta push myself.
So just
to
get married and then get a prenup.
That
right?
too. I mean, yeah, that's something.
Just get married and then get a prenup.
I mean, you really could
I have thought
kids.
about that my whole life, pretty much. If I ever do get married, there will be a prenup, unless, you know, I do grow up and start feeling some different type of way. But I don't see myself changing that mindset ever. Like, no. All right, time for some real questions for you, Audrey. What do you think of the youth nowadays, right now, as we speak right now?
The youth nowadays.
The youth.
Yes, and yeah, you said you got students or whatnot, so you know.
Okay, so I will say one thing, like, and
time.
I'm not trying to offend anybody, but
how old are those like kids that you're working with? Like, give us a little context.
I have like 5 different classes. 2 are hip hop and 3 are gymnastics.
Yeah.
They range from like 5 years old to 10 or 11, and so it just depends on what like group comes out. But one thing that pisses me off, and like I don't mean to offend anybody, but like the kids in my class will start meowing and shit.
What?
And I literally, they do. And I'm like, we are not cats. We are humans. If you're going to be a cat, you can't do gymnastics. Like, I'm just straight up like that because I'm not taking a kid crawling around and going, meow, meow. Like, I can't.
You should take them a litter box and be like, this is where you're going to go.
Well, I've made that comment to one of them. I said, so if you're a cat, because when I tell them to stop being a cat, they'll just meow back to me like they're responding. And I'm like, what the heck is wrong with you guys? And then I had said to one of them, I said, all right, if you're a cat, you going to go potty in the litter box? And they're just like, meow. I'm like, what the heck? It's frustrating sometimes.
I bet some of those kids might think of you as like a big old Karen. Sometimes
Probably.
maybe.
Oh, yeah. And that's fine. Like, you got to be strict. Like, I like being friends with them, but they also know, like, that they have to respect me. And that, like, I am above them. I am their teacher, and I'm there to teach them to be better. Like, I'm not there to be their buddy or hold their hand. Like, I'm there to be friends with them and make sure they like me, but I'm also there to make sure they're learning how to do a back bend. They're learning how to do a forward roll. They're learning how to do all that crap.
I see what you did. It's because like I thought you would like give classes to like older kids, to like the youth I'm talking about is like I guess
middle school?
No, middle school, high school. You know,
Mm-hmm.
some years below us. You know, it's because at some point, at least for me, I feel from like my brother's class, I guess, of 2022, I guess would be his class. From then. And all the classes that follow, they kind of look a little iffy, man. Like, just the quality of kids is something different nowadays.
I definitely understand you.
It's a different, how do you say, breed of kids.
It is.
Breed of youth nowadays.
Isn't it scary? It's kind of scary, honestly.
Damn, how are you going to guide your kids through, or your kid through all that, Kai?
I don't know. Like, well, I do know. I mean, I just plan on being her friend.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of shit, like, I don't know, me as a kid, whatever my dad or my parents told me not to do,
is what
I'd
you
either do it on my own or do it behind their back.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of figured that mindset is kind of the same for everybody.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna necessarily. I'm gonna show my kid what's right from wrong, but I'm not gonna tell him not to do wrong in front of me. I'm gonna tell him doing wrong is okay. Just learn from it, you know.
Yeah.
Let me teach you how to learn from it, so you're not stuck in a fucking rabbit hole and just throw your life away. So hopefully I can be her friend growing up and she can let me in, you know.
Yeah,
let me
and
guide
be
her a little
honest
bit.
with you.
Not be, you know, like, you know, fuck you, dad.
Secretive.
Don't get close to me. Get out of my room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you relate to that, like being a younger girl?
Yeah, and I
Like-
feel like my dad and I were super close too. That like I feel like he was so distraught when I was like
When
in
you
high
were like
school,
that.
and he was like, he didn't understand like quite how to handle it. And I mean, now that I look back at it, I kind of feel bad. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
he definitely was stressing. He didn't know how to deal with his daughter like acting like this, and he was a single dad, so he definitely struggled. And I feel that. I definitely get that. And now my dad and I are very like honest and like back and forth with each other. So like it comes with age, but
I know, like, that's still, like, because I know it's, like, one of the things that happen all the time is, like, divorce, right?
yes.
And so do you have any advice to the kids, younger girls out there that might be going through that?
Oh yeah.
Because you went through it and
Um,
it doesn't sound like you liked how you went through
No,
it. So.
I did not. It was a very hard time in my life, but don't like attention seek because you aren't getting that at home. Like don't go digging for attention and like things like that, because you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and the less mistakes the better, because it is a lot of hurt to like go through and even come out of. So if your parents got divorced and you're like, my parents got divorced when I was 14. This is a very weird point in my life because my whole life had been them together, and then all of a sudden it wasn't. So that was very confusing to me, and I felt like the only thing I was doing was like reaching for attention, and like, oh, they like me. Yes, like good. But like it's because I was coming home and I wasn't getting attention. It was all about like my parents' divorce. No one was asking how me or my brothers were. It was about them, not us. So I think that I was in a very like selfish standpoint at that point. So like just find your good friends and find the people that care about you and that will guide you like the right direction, instead of like maybe like steering you towards like, let's do this and this. And like that stuff's fine, but like just try to screw your head on a little straight, because it's going to be a little unscrewed when your parents get divorced.
That's tough. That's tough.
That is some tough shit. I mean, none of us here can relate to that.
Yeah.
Divorcement, especially like at a young age like that, because at 14, I do feel, I mean, you're going into
Very
high school, man. Like
you're
you're
very conscious of what's going on.
yeah,
Yes. It was my beginning of my freshman year, right before school started. My mom left the house, so it was very difficult, but both of my parents are happy now and we have good relationships. So it's just like, yeah, it was meant to happen. Like I'll probably always be a little hurt, but it gets easier as time goes on. So that's another thing, is like, it's going to hurt at the beginning, but as the years progress, it gets so much easier.
That's good. Because shit, life hits you hard after high school.
Yeah.
It does.
But let me ask you a different question. Just, it's gonna be completely different. So, per se, you have a best friend. She gets into a little pickle. You know, she's cheating on her boyfriend or her fiance, and she calls you up and says, "Hey, I need you to help me out because I'm cheating. I need you to help me to lie to my fiance. Would you help her out or no?"
My 16-year-old mindset would have said, yeah, I'll help you. But me now, no. I wouldn't help that. I seriously wouldn't, because, like, me being engaged to someone, like, that level of, like, disrespect is, like, different. I feel like that's not only affecting, like, their relationship, but it's affecting somebody else. And if they love her, like, I'm not going to help somebody cheat. I'm not on that at all.
Frequency anymore.
Yeah, no. And I probably would have when I was 16, but being almost 21 now, no.
That's good.
Yeah.
I have a lot. Shows maturity.
Yeah. I have a lot of respect for, like, my fiance and I's relationship. And so, like, I would expect the same, like, for other people to respect that also. I would expect that back.
Well, I just had to ask you a question because we were on today's youth and whatnot, and I feel like that's very, I guess, generalized, and it's very, it seems like it's okay for them to just hop from boyfriend to girlfriend and just be cheating left and right, and they just have so much toxicity, and it's to them it's okay, like it's normal.
Free for alls everywhere. Like it's just, real. Just goddamn. I mean, yeah, like it goes back to that when I'm saying the youth that I see nowadays, even kids around our age too. Sometimes the way I see it, I sometimes can't understand how like a person can be thinking so dumb sometimes in their life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I just don't understand it. But, you know, every person thinks their own way and got their own reasoning of dealing with shit. Yeah. And I don't know. Who are you to tell someone else what to do in their life too? So, you know, you can't really do shit.
Mm-hmm. So, like, what's your... I know we kind of drilled on Audrey with all these questions, but, like, do you have any, like, tips for the younger kiddos that are like you, brother?
Honestly, work a little more, dude. Like, especially if you had parents that fucking work every fucking day, just try to work. Try to learn new shit. Just don't always be on your fucking TikTok all day because nobody likes a piece of shit kid like that. And I'm going to be honest, bro, because now, man, like, I see it every day. The kids, look, you think about it, even like us, you guys ever think about when are we going to be done with the Snapchat? Are we going to be on the Snapchat until we're older and have kids and shit? Be on the social media like this. Mm-hmm. So I think about shit like that a lot. But then I'm like, damn, the world's just progressing in that way. You can't really... stay back.
Take it a step at a time.
Yes, you gotta get used to this.
You know, like one thing I regret, like being in, like, cause I've always done this camera shit this whole time, but I just wish, like, apart from like all the social media shit, I just wish I documented more of it just so I can remember it more clearly. Yeah. Cause I don't know. I think that's what's like. I mean, I get why people get addicted to social media and shit, but I just feel like you can't let it consume you like it's like it's, dude, they're making it out to be like it's another life, but real life is right here, what you're seeing with your own two eyes. It's not what you're seeing on your screen fucking scrolling all day. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're seeing other people's lives right there.
A lot of kids get ideas in their minds, you know, like, because the internet tells me this, I got to do this. Yep. I got to be like this. Mm-hmm. And I don't know, that's the way I see it. A lot of kids aren't growing up for themselves because they're not out here in the world. Instead, they're like this on the scroll. Yeah,
they're like, that's cool. That's what I want to do. Let me be that guy.
Don't be scared to be different. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Be different. Learn what they don't teach you. Fuck being the same fuck fitting in.
Seriously.
And it's like, sometimes I get into rants like these, you know, like with my little sister. She's a freshman, and I be telling her shit. And sometimes I feel like with these kids, dude, you tell them shit, it goes straight through them. They don't comprehend. No. They don't. Sometimes they don't. I don't know.
And that goes back to what he was saying, bro. Like, it's better to guide them rather than tell them, you know, just like, don't do this, don't do that.
No, but at the same time, it's hard sometimes when this kid just, how do you say, like, you see, they're not trying to, like, they got no interest, bro, in life, but to scroll. What the fuck?
I'll be honest. I feel like I've never asked this question, bro, but, like, even though you don't, like, how I see it, bro, even though you don't have a kid necessarily, I feel like you low-key have a little daughter.
That's how
I like, I'm not going to lie to you, bro. That's how I see it.
And I know David feels the same way, too, because he's older as well than her. And what I always try to say is, like, how the fuck can we be older brothers without being, like, a dad too much, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's tough in that situation, but, I mean, you know, when I'm on, like, one-on-one with my sister, I tell her, you know, I try to talk to her about real shit, and for the most part, yeah, you know, she gets it. But I talk to her in the way that that I talk to you guys, you know, like no bullshit.
Yeah.
Like I cuss a lot because I mean that's just how I
That's just how you.
that's just how I go, and I don't know. It's just how do you say it? I don't know how to describe that. Like my way of I guess trying to reason with somebody like that is maybe I'm not too experienced in communicating with people too well, I guess.
Yeah.
So something like that.
No, I think you have the right mindset. 'Cause I mean, I have two younger sisters. One's 19 and the one just turned 17 today. Actually, today was her birthday.
You know?
And like the one that's 16, like she struggled more in school and whatnot. She's been more of a troublemaker. The one that's older, I really haven't worried about. Well, my parents don't really worry about her. But just like you, like I have that same type of relationship with my sisters. I talk shit to them. You know, I come home, I say what's up to them, like they're my homies. Like I don't. Yeah, I have that dad mindset in me because I have a daughter. Yeah. So I'm always like low key, just I kind of got my head on the swivel, just caring for them or whatever. But I act cool with them in order for them to speak to me, because I know they speak to me in a different way they speak to my parents. They tell me shit that they won't tell my parents.
Exactly.
And I'll explain to my parents. I'll be that middle. Yeah, I'll be that middleman. I'll tell them like, hey, I'm gonna tell you, I'm plugging you up, but you can't rat me out, because then they're not gonna keep telling me shit.
And the thing too is because we will explain
it. To understand, bro. Yeah, to our parents, like the older generation, especially the Hispanics that don't be speaking fluent English, bro. It's so hard for them to understand like what kids are doing now. Like you just ask them, they're just like, they're crazy. They don't know what they're doing. They're crazy. They don't know what they're doing. That's all they say.
Dude, I don't know. It's like that's why I'm always thinking about this youth, dude. Like sometimes I have thoughts. I'm like, who's gonna be doctors or lawyers and stuff if all the youth is like this?
Everybody wants to be TikTok.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be a social media star,
influencer, a digital creator.
Nah. But like what I'm saying is like you know those type of influencers. That term, I don't know how the fuck it even came up a couple years ago, influencers, but apparently it's an official job title now.
Cringe, bro.
Yeah, and they're living lavish.
Because I mean, you're influencing these kids to think like you and be like you. But some people aren't, you know.
Apart from like being an influencer, I feel like people miss out on the fact that like the word influencer, bro, they don't take that into consideration. First of all, like the word influencer means you have an influence on the people that follow you.
Yeah.
So
what are you doing?
Whatever you're doing is what these people are going to follow. And if you're doing a bunch of dumb shit, then that's what you're going to breed a bunch of freaking degenerates.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Yeah, it's because literally, like, you know, on our social media, at least here in the U.S., you'll see a lot of dumb shit. In other countries, they
like
block
China,
it. Exactly.
They
show educational shit. Those niggas are gonna grow up to become, you know, the bosses, I guess, of the world, even smart ass little kids.
No, that's true. Do you know the Japan?
They're making
I'm not
America
sure if it was Japan
dumb.
or China. And they made a, what's it called? They made their own. What was that one movie that went viral?
Which one?
Something Games. On the red light, green light.
Squid
Games. They made their own version because the original version is banned there, but it's just a bunch of athletic Chinese people. Just their games are all just like what's it called?
It's like physical
100.
Physical.
Is it called Physical 100?
I watched that last week. I did.
It's on Netflix. It's just all physical.
Is it Physical 100?
Yeah, Physical 100.
Yeah.
Physical 100.
And it's all competition, and they're allowed
watched
to watch that because for the same reason, like you said, them influencers.
Yeah.
You get influenced on what you watch. Like you see these little kids, they watch the new fucking movies, and they want to be the superheroes or whatever. Same thing in China. They want to influence them to compete, to be bigger and grown and muscular, you know. I want to be like him in the movie, you know. I want to be big and buff.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy the way they manipulate media, because they do have that down. We have so much freedom here in the U.S.
I think it's kind of like unique how like both countries take like different perspectives on shit. Cause like, I mean, yeah, you could say that about China and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a bunch of other shit that's going out over there. There's also a bunch of shit that's going on over here that's dumb, and some of it is smart. But at the same time, it's like, you know, we're just getting divided.
Yeah.
Between, like, I don't know, dude.
They want to divide the nation.
Divide the nation. Like, dude, I have my brothers in the other side of the world, and you know their perspective on shit is a lot different than what mine is. It's like, bro, I'm talking to my other brother who's 41 and he lives in Singapore. My other brother who's, I think, 38 and he lives in the Philippines. And it's like, bro, you dead ass. They both have such a different outlook on life. Like, it's way different.
What way would they have a different point in life? Like, what's a major difference?
Like,
they would have
you know how I say, like, even you can relate to this too. Like, you can have some family members working in another country they can work their asses off for the rest of their lives, and you know their lives still wouldn't be as far off as ours. You know, like, that's why it's really good to help people from around you, like, that's coming from other countries, you know. Because, like, bro, even like a $500 check here a week might be nothing to most people here, but there it's like, man, bro, that shit's huge. You get what I'm saying? Because, like, the expenses here is just a lot greater compared to over there. You can feed a whole motherfucking family for like
economies
weeks.
are different, you know. You realize you will realize it a lot more, you know, when you travel different countries. You see shit,
especially third world countries.
Third world countries. Mexico, I guess you could say third world country. The way it operates, I guess it shouldn't, but it is deep down. And, you know, everyone that knows Mexico that goes down there, you know how shit is run. It's all corruption, too. It's all money. You get your way with money. It's pretty much how it is here, but here they conceal it a lot more. It's a lot more concealed than in other countries. It's a lot more organized.
So for, like, most audience watching this, they're going to look at you and they're like, white girl. But
I understand, though. I'm listening. I get it. I do. But I am quarter Thai, so.
Do you have, like, any families, like, living there and shit still?
Oh, my grandma moved here when she was 18 years old, and she's one of 12 siblings.
Damn.
So
you ever been over there?
Have you ever been to, like, Thai?
No,
Thailand?
my mom has been twice, and I am, like, begging my grandma to go. My grandma has a house there, and she has one other sibling that lives here, too. But I'd really like to go, like, probably after our wedding or something. But definitely with my grandma there, because I don't speak Thai, but she's obviously fluent. She moved here when she was 18, so she knows all her way around there, knows all the spots to go and everything. But
I think it'd be fun, like, you guys seeing that, because, like, you and Mark seeing that, because, you know, you've never been there and shit. You know, I'm about to be going back to the Philippines after 11 whole ass years.
Oh, you're going back?
Yeah, this year.
Oh, no way. Are you excited, dude?
Yeah, I'm excited to just see the brothers, the families, you know.
I bet. It has been a long time for you.
It's been a long ass time.
Better vlog the whole thing.
Yeah, that's one thing I want to tell the audience, too, is be on the lookout for that sometime in May.
Vlog.
That's exciting.
Yep.
Not get the gear confiscated. Please do not get the gear confiscated. Philippines Customs.
Yeah, for real, how are the laws over there? Because I know in Canada they just legalized cocaine.
You even heard it on Call of Duty?
Remember that guy in the COD lobby?
You're legal with carry 2.5 grams.
Like 2 grams of cocaine.
He was so happy. He's like, bro, everyone's doing bumps in the bar.
That's funny.
In the Philippines, like, a lot of things are, you know, haram, as they say. Even as simple as weed, bro.
You die, no?
It's definitely you would die.
Death?
Oh,
Death?
really?
Wait, so what? Like, you don't do jail time over there? You do?
Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, you go do jail. But
I thought they just put you in a coffin.
Forget about you, yeah. That's it.
But here at 500 Grand Studios, we provide the best motherfucking podcasts.
For real,
if you are looking to get this high quality, hit us up, www.500grandstudios.com. We have our partners here. Good Stay. Here's a pop-up. And we create podcasts with them. So if you're looking to get another podcast created just like them, or if not, different, you know.
Just any type of video content, you know. Shit. We do anything and everything.
Oh, shoot.
But, you know, we talked about a lot of stuff. We got to learn about you. You know, the audience got to learn about you and shit like that. Taught us what it's like being a homeowner, what it's like to be engage and shit like that. So yeah, it's been good having you here.
Well, thank you. I have a question for you though. What is your like ultimate goal by the end of the year with this podcast and with your YouTube channel in general?
That's crazy. You know, at least hit 1,000 subscribers. You know, we're not shooting for anything big.
Yeah.
Just at least 1,000 subscribers. That's it. I don't look for anything bigger.
Yeah.
Because I know everything else will come right in place after. So I'm like, you know, at this time right now, I'm just trying to get the quality of the production as high as possible, as most efficient as possible, and yeah, that's about it, really.
Oh yeah.
I know you always have liked making videos and stuff, like ever since I knew you. So like, this is so cool that you're like coming this far and you're being consistent. Like, I gotta applaud you on that. That's awesome.
Thanks, bro.
For keeping it consistent and continuing on. That's awesome. That you're finally in the groove and you're ready.
Yeah. Do you guys have anyone to shout out? Do you guys have anything to say before this podcast ends?
You know, same shit as I always say, work by day and 500 gram podcast by night all day. This time for real, because we're back at it at work. And shout out to everyone at work that watches me, you know. And that's it. Pretty much, that's it.
Dude,
let us know. Money Hates COD again. Let us know, and that's it.
Money Hates COD.
That's it. Money Hates COD.
Shout out 500 gram pod.
Yes.
Oh, and also I want to give a big old shout out to Snapchat for finally approving my fucking request. We've got the motherfucking filter. 500 grand studios now. Shout out to fucking Snapchat. And that's it. That's pretty much it.
That's
pretty much it.
That's
Hell
sick.
yeah.
That's sick.
Hell yeah.
Like making these fucking Snapchat stories and it just says 500 grand studios.
500 grand
yeah.
studios. Oh,
I
yes,
saw
sir,
it
my man.
pop up and this, I was like freaking out about it, right? And I was telling these dudes about it, right? And they were like, you know, everyone's like, damn, that's lit. And then this motherfucker sends a voice memo. He's like, yeah, I put an application on that like a week ago. Dude, yeah. I'm like, bro.
Look, if I would have told you guys and nothing would have happened, then I would have been like a little dumbass, you know. But pulled through.
The thoughts will
Snapchat.
count. The thoughts will
Snapchat is lit for that. 500 grand studios is on the Snap map nowadays.
There you go.
That's fucking lit.
Plug in your social media. You never fucking plug in your social media.
Social media, you know, I'm trying to be more active on Instagram, you know, post shit, but it's all about the reels. Instagram, it'll pop up on the screen. Snapchat as well, the little Snapchat code. But on Facebook, pretty much my name, you know, and that's pretty much it. My name. Yeah. Ya es todo. Y saludos a todos allá de México, porque nunca hablo en español. They keep telling me to speak in Spanish, but I never fucking do. Saludos a todos de México, de allá de Sinapécoro, a la banda. Yeah, that's it. That's it, pretty much.
What you, Kai?
Saludo a la banda. Ciao.
Ciao. Yeah.
You got any shout outs? Plug in your social media, plug in whatever.
I don't need my social media plugged in. I'm fine.
Yeah. But do you have any like shout outs? Yeah.
Shout out to you guys for having me. I appreciate it. Shout out Madeline. Shout out Emma. My girls. That's about it.
All right, guys. See you on the next episode every Friday.
So everybody, knows. Work by day, 500 gram podcast by night, all day, all day, all day, all day.
If it's love, I want everything. Touch my soul, touch my heart, don't judge my mental. They told me that life is simple, been real since Papa Pimple. I started out in the rental, Sonata, the presidential. Speak once and listen twice. They told me that less is simple. I'm observing in the room, I be flying all on the wall. Open mouth conversations, I leave you all in some awe. Cutting through the noise, I'm hoping I leave a scar. If you don't know where you've been.